Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the day, that time of the week again. It is time for more Hunter x Hunter. I'm so grateful to bring this series to all of you guys that I simply cannot wait to continue reading even more. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to Hunter x Hunter. Today we are going to be reading through Volume 7, which encompasses Chapter 55, all the way over to 63. Now, what happened last was essentially Hisoka. We saw Hisoka fighting. What is his name? What is his name? I just saw his name pop up. It's Castros. Yeah, Castros. I knew it was a K. I knew it was a K-related name. Mihai, it's good to see you as well. But last we left off, Hisoka was facing off against Castros, who we learned had the Nen ability to create a full body double, which allowed Castros to land many blood-drawing hits on Hisoka. However, Hisoka was just letting all of this happen just to play mind games with Castros and reveal that he's far deadlier than we could have ever imagined, at least anyone who hasn't read the manga or seen the anime. And not only does Hisoka lose both of his arms, but somehow has the ability for one of his arms to be completely regenerated even after having one of them severed completely, and brings the fight between himself and Castros to a close by displaying his far superior prowess and embedding Castro's body full of nothing but cards that appear to have been enhanced with Nen. So the last thing we get is Hisoka saying, it's a lot of effort to create something as complex as a human body out of Nen and to move it at will. So much so that once you learn it, you can't use any other abilities. I call it memory overload. And as Castro starts to fall over, the cause of your defeat is squandering your memory capacity, and that is the end of that was the end of volume 6 and the end of chapter 54. Let's begin with chapter 55. As for Hisoka, and Hisoka is walking, mind you, his left arm is still severed. And he's walking through the hallway after the crowd while leaving the cheering crowd behind. And then we get Hisoka walking, and there appears to be a woman in the hallway going,
Nice job. Now show me your arms.
Chapter 55, as for Hisoka. And we get Hisoka who's here. Still in the Heavens Arena, and this woman's talking to him.
I was never quite sure before, but that match proved it to me. You're an idiot. You didn't have to do all this. What was that? Performance art? Well, more money for me.
And mind you, both Hisoka's arms appear to be still severed. Both of his arms. So that moment where it looked like his right arm was fully regenerated, apparently that was an act. But then this woman takes these pins out of like a pin cushion on her hand, and she starts infusing this thread with Nen. And she's looking at Hisoka's severed stump. Looks at Hisoka's severed stump, and it looks like the stump of his arm is being infused as well in order to keep it from bleeding.
Turn off the aura around your arm. Left one first.
And then Hisoka turns his aura off, and blood just starts gushing out of his arm immediately.
Better stop the bleeding.
And she spins this needle on her finger real quick, and then immediately starts to go to work on his arm using Nen.
Ready? Nen stitches.
And then with blinding and shockingly fast speed, she starts weaving in between the gap that is Hisoka's arm and the arm that was the end of his arm up here, and then the rest of his arm that's been severed.
All done. Basically, all the tissue is sewn together.
And then, with one motion, she pulls, and Hisoka's arm snaps right back into the position of where it used to be. And then Hisoka is able to move his fingers. Like, Nen is scary. He's able to move his fingers almost immediately after having his arm reattached. Brilliant.
Now the right. You hold it this time.
And Hisoka is holding his arm as this woman goes to stitching his other arm up together again. And Hisoka's arms are reattached once again, as if nothing happened. It's always so fascinating to watch. Maybe I hurt myself on purpose so I can see your work up close.
That'll be 20. That'll be 20 million for the left, 50 for the right. Fork it over. They're a bit ragged around the edges, but you'll manage. Your bungee gum and texture surprise can cover them up.
Oh yeah, I should hide the seams. That way it'll look like they were restored by magic. Take this ordinary handkerchief. And he takes the same handkerchief that he hit his arm in, and then he drapes it over his arm and goes, and elastic love, bungee gum. Slap it on the arm. And then with flimsy lies, texture surprise. And after doing that, it shows that the ragged edges are pretty much gone. And then after doing that, he goes, then with flimsy lies, texture surprise. And he slaps it onto his arm, reproduce skin. And it shows Hisoka's arms. It looks like his arms are fully healed. You couldn't even tell that they've been severed.
That was fast. To most people, it would seem like the arm healed itself. These two abilities led Hisoka to victory. First, the bungee gum. He modifies his aura, makes it both elastic and sticky. Stick it anywhere and peel it off at will. It stretches far and snaps back quickly. Incidentally, its name is taken from Hisoka's favorite brand of chewing gum as a child. Texture surprise. He adds imagery to his aura to produce the appearance of various surfaces, but only onto flat, papery materials.
Hence why he uses a handkerchief.
The end result is similar to a high-resolution color photocopy. A mere touch would reveal the wrong texture, but Hisoka thinks this makes the deception more exciting. This one's named after a wildly popular classic snack that came with novelty gag stickers.
So we have the explanation of Hisoka's Nen abilities. Bungee gum and texture surprise.
He tossed up the 13 cards as misdirection, while he also tossed up his right arm. Bungee gum secured the arm to the ceiling, and the handkerchief on the ground. The strands of aura extending from them were connected to a stump.
And it shows us exactly what happened when Hisoka did his little magic trick.
The cards were also secured to the ground, with the ends of the 13 strands of aura in Hisoka's left hand. When Hisoka threw the ace of spades at Castro,
Here, you can have it.
He also threw the 13 strands, which stuck all over Castro's body. So why didn't Castro notice? Hisoka applied a variation of Setsu to make his aura as invisible as possible. However, this wasn't foolproof. Anyone who has learned Ren can detect it through close observation while focusing aura in his eyes, which takes intense concentration. Castro had learned Ren, of course, but Hisoka distracted Castro with his crazy magic tricks and camouflaged his lack of aura with his nonchalance. Satisfied that everything was going according to plan, Hisoka stuck the aura stretching from his left fist onto Castro's chin.
And it shows everything that went down went according to Hisoka's plan. Like, even the fact that he stuck his aura onto Castro and Castro wasn't even able to notice at all. Now everything is ready. After sticking his aura straight to Castro's chin.
Texture surprise had already been applied to the handkerchief to recreate skin.
On the reverse side.
The moment Castro attacked and severed his left arm, Hisoka retracted the bungee gum on the handkerchief and his right arm. The arm jumped back into place, and the handkerchief covered the seam.
With my right.
This made it seem as if the arm had been magically healed. However, this trick brought Castro to his senses. He realized that such a feat could only be accomplished with Nen, so strictly speaking, the texture surprise was not critical to Hisoka's victory. Hisoka did not fail to notice the subtle change in Castro's attitude. He chose words to unnerve Castro, ensuring his vulnerability. With the doppelganger's weaknesses revealed, though he still would have been able to put up a good fight had he remained calm, Castro became desperate. As a result, Castro was defeated. Hisoka remains convinced that his abilities are most suitable for him. Unlike Castro's, revealing their secrets won't detract from their usefulness.
And then Hisoka's just chilling while this woman has been saying this entire thing.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Already?
My job here is done. The Nen threads are only so strong, so don't strain your arms until they're healed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The message has been changed. Instead of anyone with nothing better to do, everyone must now meet up in York New City by noon on August 30th.
Will Chloro be there too?
I presume so. This could be our biggest mission yet. If you blow it off again, he might come punish you himself.
Ooh, scary. So are you free tonight? I am. How about dinner? And as soon as he says this woman just straight up leaves. Straight up leaves and slams the door on his face, and he's just left there silently. And then he just goes, oh well. And then he decides to take a shower. And we see Hisoka with his hair down. Whew. And he is a member of the Phantom Troop because he has that multi-leg spider tattoo on his back. Hisoka never speaks of his past. He's not particularly interested in events long gone. He'll probably forget what Castro looked like by tomorrow. And then Hisoka gets out the shower and dries himself off. Hisoka does not belong to anything or anyone. Oops, forgot to peel it off again. Oh, never mind. Hisoka had me in the first half. It's not even a tattoo for the Phantom Troop. It's fake. Literally another texture surprise. I got baited. I thought he was a member of the Phantom Troop. But no, it was just a texture surprise. And he just takes it off his back. And he looks at it, and it's just a big old piece of fabric that just goes back to being regular fabric again. Now that I've found some new toys, it's time to hunt down the spiders. Hisoka is his own man, and he's confident that he is the most powerful. The toys he's referring to are Killua and Gon. And that's the end of Chapter 55. Onwards to Chapter 56. Chapter 56. Training resumes. And we have apparently the first popularity poll for Hunter x Hunter. Here's our first popularity contest results. This is literally at the beginning of the chapter. So in first place is Killua. In second place is Kurapika. Third place is Gon. Fourth place is Hisoka. And in fifth place is Leorio. It doesn't even surprise me that Leorio's rating is lower than everybody else's. That doesn't surprise me. But Killua loves his sharp edges. He seems the strongest. I want him as a little brother. Kurapika, what amazing resolve. Is he a man or a woman? I love him so much. Gon, he's so cute. I wish him luck. I want to be his friend. Hisoka, he's so mysterious, scary, but I still love him. There are so many people like that in the world right now. And then Leorio. I wish he were my big brother. I bet he's a hard worker. He's so cool. Chapter 56, Training Resumes. Oh, and contest results part 2. 6th place, Illumi Gitaraka. Let's see, that's 6th. Who's 7th? Oh, 7th is Satots. 8th is Hanzo. 9th it's Ponzu. 10th is Kite. And then 11th is Wing. So with Illumi is his eyes are cute, what's going on in his head. Satots, the conscience of the hunters, he's so suave. Hanzo, what a nice guy, handsome and funny. 9th place, Ponzu, she's so cute, I wouldn't mind being stung by her. 10th place, Kite, I want to see more of him, where is he now? And then 11th, Wing, I wish you were my tutor, marry me. That's what some people have said. Then 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th is Paco, Killua's mom, Kaluto, and Silva and Geen, both tying for 15th place. And that's it for the votes for the popularity contest. Now we're back at Wing's place because Killua and Gon are still training. Killua and Gon, starting today, you will be studying with Zushi. Gon, I see you kept your promise for 2 months.
Your string helped a lot. It was hard to resist the temptation, but when I looked at my hand, I could feel myself get calmer.
I imbued with Nen to have that effect.
Really?
No, just kidding.
Was he always like this? But how'd you know? He might have cheated. Who knows?
Because the thread isn't broken. Gon, show me your 10.
May I?
Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Could I?
And then Gon is just thinking to himself,
It's been a while. Can I still do it? Ah.
And then it takes us to like this mindscape of Gon just concentrating and meditating. And then his aura starts to generate around him. Zushi, what do you think?
It's great! The aura is swirling smoothly. Quiet and gentle, yet powerful. Yes, I did it! I was afraid I'd forgotten how.
Just like riding a bicycle, you never forget. Though, of course, mastery requires diligent practice.
But I hadn't practiced at all, and I did it faster and more smoothly than before.
It comes from practicing 10 every day. Now look at your left hand.
Huh? Whoa!
And the thread that Wing put on his finger is now broken. I'm using the wrong hand for this because it's on his left hand.
It's broken! Huh? But you couldn't even scrub it off in the bath.
I tied it so it would break if you used Nen. It's a trick of my own, Nen.
You can do stuff like that? Say, Wing.
And this is Killua.
Did you see Hisoka's match with Castro?
Yes, I did.
What's his ability?
His arm flew around and reattached.
His arm flew around and reattached itself. Could we do that too?
That's a tricky question. Let's go over things one at a time. Gon, have you seen the tape?
Not yet. I wanted your permission first. Oh.
I'll explain while we watch. Okay? And it shows that Wing has the match recorded. And Gon and Killua are watching everything go down, including Hisoka doing this little trick against Castro. Well?
Nuh-uh. I don't see it at all. Are there really strands of aura coming from Hisoka's left arm?
Yes. He's using a skill that makes his aura very hard to see. It's an advanced application of Zetsu called Een. Een makes even powerful aura invisible. To see it, it's best to use Ren to focus your aura in your eyes. What you did in your match with Guido may work, but you can't counterattack and you'll get yourself killed.
I know.
Your first question was, what's Hisoka's ability? You can find the answer yourself. I'll give you two some homework. Practice Ren until you can see Hisoka's Een. And then Zushi's watching, and then I think it's either Gon or Killua who goes,
Us too?
and then Zushi chimes in.
Master, what should I do?
You should be able to see it already.
I can?
Show them your Ren. And then Zushi charges up,
Oh, Ren!
and we see Zushi's Ren outside of his body, and Gon and Killua can see it.
It's just as big as ours, but I can tell it's bursting with power.
Now focus it all in your eyes.
Os!
And then he starts focusing it all near his face until it's just around his eyes.
Yo! Focus!
Now, can you see Hisoka's aura? And then Zushi says,
Yes!
how many strands?
13, I think.
Close, but not quite.
Wow, I could see them!
Well done, Zushi.
Thank you, Master!
You can barely see Hisoka's Iin by spending all your energy on Gyo, but with more practice, you'll be able to fight at the same time. Gyo is an old standby for fighting any unknowns. You can't hope to be successful if you don't know what your opponent can do. Got that? And he turns the TV off. First learn Ren, and apply that to perform Gyo. Then you'll be able to find the answer yourself. Your second question was, could we do the same thing as Hisoka? The answer is both yes and no. If it's a Nen ability, another student of Nen should be able to learn it as well. By that, I only mean that the possibility isn't zero. Nen is heavily influenced by your individuality. Certain abilities will be more suited to you than others. Depending on what it is, it might take me 10 years to learn what Hisoka learned in 5, or I may never learn it at all. There we go. Depending on what it is, it might take me 10 years to learn what Hisoka learned in 5, or I may never learn it at all. If you want to be serious about learning Nen, you should focus not on imitating others, but instead on reaching your true potential. Yeah, OBS hit like a server error all of a sudden. This happened when I was playing Borderlands. But don't worry, it's all good now. If you want to be serious about learning Nen, you should focus not on imitating others, but instead on reaching your true potential.
Potential, huh?
What makes you passionate? What makes you angry? Where you travel, who you meet, what you experience. They will all serve to give shape to your Nen. You are still growing. Enrich yourself as much as you can. That's what training is for. Temper your body and mind, and enjoy your lives as much as possible.
Os!
Gon, how much time do you have left before you have to register?
It's been 2 months since I fought Guido.
62 days to be exact.
Then I have 28 days left.
And you, Killua?
I guess I have 27 days then.
All right. You will register on the last day possible. Killua will fight on June 9th. Gon will fight on June 10th. You are to master Gyo by then. And then it cuts to Gon, Zushi, and Killua outside just exploring the entire area. Just exploring the area, walking and talking with themselves.
Wow, you got way ahead while we were taking a break. Oh no, I still have far to go.
And this is Zushi that's speaking up.
I haven't even passed the 90th floor yet.
And then we get Gon and Killua.
Let's review what we learned. Yeah, let's go to my room.
And then Zushi is with them still.
Killua, Sushi, Os! We got company.
As they get out of the elevator, those same three dudes that were staring them down when they first got up to the higher floors after they got past Hisoka, they're there, including the top dude.
You guys don't give up, do you? This is no way to make friends.
Now, just tell us when you're gonna fight. We'd love to fight you.
And then we have Killua, Gon, and Zushi just whispering to each other. It's not frozen anymore? Good to know.
Those three are also on the 200th floor. You fought the guy in the middle, right? They weren't. They only fight newbies to pick up some easy wins.
We're almost out of time. We're getting desperate. Come on, how about it? I'll even show you my ability. Right here.
And then this dude with the slightly closed eyes and the long clothing shows his aura, and everyone notices.
I'm going to register for June 10th. Hey, Gon!
So you're not gonna fight until the last minute. That's no good. My deadline's May 29th.
Who cares about you? Let's go, guys!
Gon, my buddy. I will fight you, okay?
And as they start to walk away, this same weird dude goes,
I promise you that.
and that's the end of chapter 56. Onwards to chapter 57! Chapter 57, Promise.
Visualize energy building up in the body. Energy from each and every cell. Growing, and project all that amassed energy outward.
And then they are projecting their auras outside of their bodies. And even Zushi's doing it as well. And then Gon chimes in.
We're getting the hang of it. The timing to get 10 to contain all that aura was a little tricky.
And then it cuts to Zushi, who's been doing this for so long, he's just looking at them dumbfounded like,
A little? How can he improve so fast? It took me weeks to learn the timing.
and then we have Gon.
But our auras don't have as much oomph as Zushi's. Let's practice building up more. No, it's been enough for today. Resting the body is an equally important part of training. Yeah, I'm not that tired. Trust me! I feel like chopped liver if they were to overtake me in half a day. See you tomorrow.
So Zushi and Gon, they leave.
Good night!
And that's Gon saying that to Killua. And Killua's smiling, like a genuine smile, because he has friends. Remember when his family wanted to keep him away from having any friends?
Now then.
And it shows Zushi walking on his own. Yeah, it shows Zushi walking on his own, and that same weird dude that really wants to fight Gon, he's around the corner, and he starts following Zushi. And then Zushi notices something and stops moving.
What the? I can't move!
Because this dude's aura abilities, his Nen abilities, allows him to project his aura out of his body as a means of grabbing people. Specifically, an aura projecting out of the space where his left arm should be. And creates basically a giant arm that grips onto Zushi and keeps him from moving.
I can't move! I can't speak or breathe! What the?
Oops, careful.
And then someone says,
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
oh no, that's Killua.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And Killua just walks up to him.
You don't have to resort to these cliches. You want to fight? Fine. Which day do you want?
And then dude just looks at him, but doesn't say anything.
No, I'll let you win, of course. In fact, I'll give all of you a freebie. Isn't that what you want? See, Gon already broke one promise to our teacher. He might feel too guilty to continue training if he breaks another. Even if he has good reason to. And I don't want that.
And the guy's still looking at him.
If you want to fight Gon, work around his schedule. Then he'd be more than happy to fight.
Sure, if you'll oblige us. It'll save us the trouble. Not that we don't trust you, but let's go register right now. Then we'll give him back unharmed.
Okay, but this is the last time. May 29th.
And then Killua says,
How's that?
Okay, he's all yours. He's all yours.
and then Zushi, who's not able to move, has to be carried by Killua.
Hup. Don't forget, this is the last time. If you don't keep your end of the deal. Well, never mind.
What? Come on, tell us.
And then we have the top guy. We have the top guy who goes,
Hello, Gon. Take a look outside your door. It'll tell you all you need to know. Listen carefully to what I say. What'll happen to us?
There's no point in saying it here. Just keep your end of the deal.
Don't tell anyone else. If you do as we say, your friend will come back home safely.
and then Killua is still walking away with Zushi.
Making an honest living is tough. It's harder than I thought to get things done without killing.
And mind you, he's walking with Zushi, but Zushi doesn't got a shoe on. And the one who has Zushi's other shoe is now Gon, who probably doesn't know what's currently going on right now. So these dudes are trying to provoke Gon, going around what they just set up with Killua.
Sushi!
The next day.
And we have Killua going up to Gon's room.
Huh? He left already? Step right up. I got some good tickets. Gon versus Sadaso. Buy 'em now or you'll be sorry.
'Cause they literally duped Killua. Oh, go ahead and set up this fight. Make sure. And then they tricked Gon, they provoked Gon so that Gon would fight them sooner. So they literally just made both Killua and Gon work around their schedule and tricked them into earlier fights.
Gon versus Sadaso. Buy 'em now or you'll be sorry.
And then some people are going, I'll take one.
I got plenty more. Can I buy one too?
Sure.
What's this Sadaso guy like? He's the one-armed fighter. He has a face like a mask. Once you're in the clutches of his invisible left arm, it's game over. He's also known as the newbie hunter.
And the dude who's trying to sell tickets gets scared and intimidated by Killua because Killua has killer eyes.
That son of a...
And then he walks off.
What's up?
That was Killua.
Huh?
He also fights on the 200th floor.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he fight Sadaso before Gon? Shouldn't he have checked up on his next opponent by now? He's too young. He won't stand a chance.
I don't know about that. I'll bet 50 thou that Killua will win.
And then we get back to Gon, Killua, and Zushi back at Wings.
Us!
Hey, I hear you carried Zushi home last night. Thanks.
No prob. How do you feel today? Better. I must have been really tired. You found him, Killua? Yeah. After you guys left, someone called me up and said your friend is sleeping by the arena's front gate.
It's a lie, because he's the one who followed Zushi in order to make sure he got back home safely.
So I brought him back here. Thank you so much! Wing, could I see that video again? I've learned Gil already.
Much to the surprise of Wing and Zushi. And it shows Killua using his aura around him while he's watching Hisoka's fight. And then he uses Gyo around his eyes.
The answer is 15, right? 13 to the cards, 1 to the handkerchief, and 1 more to the arm he cleverly tossed up. Let me see more.
And he continues to watch Hisoka's match using Gyo.
It looks like Hisoka's aura is stretchy. Or maybe it works like a magnet. How else could his arm reattach itself or target Castro's jaw? I think it's the former. His aura must be like sticky rubber. That would explain most of his magic tricks.
And then he leaves Gyo, and he's huffing and puffing. And then Zushi is just amazed by this.
He's on a whole other playing field.
You've made the grade. I'm greatly impressed. I never expected both of you to learn Gyo in one night.
Gon? You too? Yeah, but I couldn't figure out Hisoka's ability.
So, Killua, did you also finish your assignment early so you could fight sooner?
It's not that I wanted a head start on you, I just wanted to get in on the action. Yeah, we had the same idea. I know. Yeah, there's a specific day I wanted to fight. May 29th. It's my birthday.
Also a lie. And then Gon is just listening in. And then Wing says, that should be fine. I underestimated your rate of progress. Keep practicing Ten and Ren until the day of the match. Be sure to allocate an equal amounts of time to breaks and sleep. And then time passes.
Killua?
Hmm?
They blackmailed you too, didn't they? It really makes me mad.
Yeah, but at least... I was about to use Wing's voice just out of nowhere. Killua was about to have a massive growth spurt out of nowhere.
Yeah, but at least we got Wing's permission. And Zushi came back unharmed. It doesn't bother me too much to lose on purpose. But what if they threaten Zushi again? Don't worry. That won't happen.
And it cuts to a bell somewhere with someone going, 10 minutes to go! Killua will be my 6th win. Gon will give me my 7th. 3 more. 3 more suckers. Then I'll be floor master. And I believe this is Saraso. With that kind of fame and money, I'll be set for life. And all of a sudden, a blade just goes straight through his head. Oh. No, it was just a sensation of having his head split open. Because Killua is in the locker room right now with Saraso.
Move, and you die. Use Nen or utter one word and you die. Now close your eyes. You see what happens when you break promises. Open your eyes again and look at me in the mirror. Listen.
And Saraso is sweating bullets, terrified. That big old smile he's had on his face, gone.
Don't you ever show your scummy face to us again. This is a promise you will keep.
And mind you, Killua is saying this, smiling the whole time. But his eyes have like a haze to them of just pure murderous intent.
This is a promise you will keep.
Killua wins by default. And that's the end of chapter 57. Onwards to chapter 58. Killua is not here to play them games, people. He ain't here to play no games. Chapter 58, rematch. Gon Freaks, 1 win, 1 loss. TKO lost to Guido. 1 win by default to Saraso. And then another match versus Guido. And then another match versus Reineveld. And then Killua Zoldyck. 1 win, no loss. Win by default on the 29th to Saraso. And then he has another match versus, is that Rhine or is that Reicheveld? Hold on, I need to zoom in this image here. Ryleveld. Yeah, Ryleveld. It's Ryleveld. Yeah. So Gon has a fight against Ryleveld, and so does Killua. Okay, it's Ryleveld. The words are so small unless I have to actually zoom in on Viz. Chapter 58, rematch. He thrives in shadows. His eyes are those of a predator, and he made it clear that I was the prey. It was a mistake to assume that they're kids and nothing more. Oh wait, this is Sadaso. He thrives in shadows. His eyes are those of a predator, and he made it clear that I was the prey. It was a mistake to assume that they're kids and nothing more. I'm out of here. I don't want to die. Be careful. You guys will be next. Sadaso had the fear of God put in him. He's so scared, like, nope, I don't want to be no floor master. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to be no floor master. I'm out of here. I want to live. Killua terrified this dude. But they're both the dude in the wheelchair and the dude with the mask, which is Guido. Guido goes, now what?
I don't care. We're so close to being floor masters. Once that title's in hand, we can ditch this place. The lecture and teaching gigs alone will bring us easy money for life. I bet he didn't come to threaten me because he was worried about abilities he didn't know. We can still do this as long as we're careful. Wrong.
And they are both shocked to see that Killua is listening in on them. That's so bad. When you have someone you're talking about just listening to the conversation and you don't notice them until they speak up. You can't even sense them. You all can clearly use Nen, but you can't sense his presence.
We can still do this as long as we're careful. Wrong. It doesn't matter what your abilities are. I just figured I could ward you at any time. You'll never be safe. Anywhere. Even while you're sleeping or sitting on the john. Be sure to play by the rules. Once no holds are barred, we're the ones who'll benefit the most.
And then Killua leaves. And then dude that has like the big headpiece over his eyes that's covering his eyes and it seems like a shadow, he just starts laughing.
Cheating is wrong. Fair and square is the way to go.
And then Guido just goes, yeah. And then it cuts back to training with Wing and Zushi as Killua and Gon get more and more proficient with Nen. Then we get Wing. You both have matches today. How are you feeling?
Good.
Gon, since you fought him before, you won't need my advice. Do you have a strategy?
Yeah, pretty much. My plan was to use that.
And it's Gon's fishing rod.
A fishing rod?
And this is Zushi thinking this. I see. And then we get back to the fighting. Hold on. We get back to Gon's next match. The rematch you've all been waiting for. Guido versus Gon. Gon was sent to the hospital the last time they faced each other in March. He's here today with a fishing rod. Oh wait, this is the lady.
The rematch you've all been waiting for. Guido versus Gon. Gon was sent to the hospital the last time they faced each other in March. He's here today with a fishing rod. What will he do with it? The winner will be decided by points or a TKO or a KO. No time limit.
Begin! And then Gon immediately starts to move.
Right off the bat, Gon takes off in a mad dash.
And then Gon stops as the announcer lady goes,
But as if in anticipation, Guido responds with his tornado top. Gon will only get hurt again if he charges in. He's way ahead of me.
I know what you're thinking. It's virtually impossible to stop me once I start spinning. Naturally, everyone tries to attack me first. What's wrong? If you have nothing, I'll take the lead. Shotgun Blues!
and while he's doing this, Guido shoots out a whole bunch of tops immediately.
He can fire off the tops while spinning?
Unlike Battle Waltz, all the tops are aimed directly at you. You'll never dodge them all.
And when they get closer and closer to Gon, it zooms into his face and he just goes,
Ring!
and he braces and he manages to block all of the tops.
What?
And every single one of those tops were immediately blocked.
He blocked all the tops head on! He's clearly a changed person.
His nin defenses have shot way up. My tops won't affect him anymore.
And Guido is already sweating bullets.
Gon should have been able to swat them all down with his fishing rod, but this was a greater psychological blow to Guido. He must be furious that they used Sushi to blackmail us. Now, it's my turn. What will Gon do now?
A fishing rod? That could only mean one thing. He plans to hook onto my clothes and bring my spinning to a halt. But will it work?
And then, see, that cough was coming up anyway. It's got nothing to do with me doing this voice for Guido, but that cough was coming up anyway. I'm good though.
But will it work?
And then Gon starts flicking his fishing rod back and forth. And he throws it immediately at Guido.
He swung straight at Guido!
And the fishing rod goes straight towards him.
I knew it, but it's futile.
And it bounces off of Guido. And Gon obviously notices this.
Oh no! It bounced off! No damage to Guido!
And then it just plops in front of Guido.
Too bad! You can't snag a hold of me when I'm spinning at high speed, protected by aura.
I love doing voices for characters like this. I love doing this.
That's just fine!
But it shows Gon throwing his fishing line again, but it goes straight past Guido, and then it lands on the other side of the arena with the hooks digging into one of the floor tiles. And Gon uses his first of all, what type of fishing line are you using for you to do this? And then secondly, what type of fishing hook are you using in order for you to do this? And thirdly, what type of fishing rod are you using in order for you to do this? He yanks the entire tile off of the ground, causing Guido to fly into the air, still spinning.
He flipped the stone floor tile over and Guido along with it. He didn't see that coming.
And then Guido falls to the ground. And Gon is standing above him. And Gon has his fist clenched. And then he's about to pile drive. He's about to slam directly into Guido. And Guido goes,
Wait! I give!
But Gon continues and lands a solid hit directly on Guido, putting him down completely.
Gon snapped Guido's steel peg leg in two.
Oh, so he didn't punch him. He just broke his leg, so he can't spin anymore.
Gon snapped Guido's steel peg leg in two. It'll be impossible for him to carry on. If you'll resort to any means, then we won't hold back either.
And then blood is dripping down from Gon's fists because of him breaking Guido's leg. His steel peg leg. Gon just broke steel. Okay.
If you'll resort to any means, then we won't hold back either. If you even touch Zushi again, it'll be your face next time!
Gon wins! And the crowd is cheering, but Gon walks off with a very determined look on his face. It shows Zushi and Wing checking out the match, and they're smiling. Zushi's got like, woo! Hisoka's watching, And then Killua smiling, going,
Okay, my turn.
And now for the main event of the day, Killua versus Rylevelt.
and Rylevelt is the name of the dude in the wheelchair. So at least I got his name and I can attach it to something now. And that's the end of chapter 58. Onwards to chapter 59. We're going all the way up to 63. Had to remind myself. Chapter 59, Making the Grade.
And now for the main event of the day, Killua versus Rylevelt. What kind of spectacle will we get to see?
You broke your promise first. No more freebies for you. So he makes his living in the underworld. I don't care if he is a pro assassin. The Heavens Arena is my stomping ground. I'll show him who rules atop this stone platform.
Chapter 59, Making the Grade. And it has Karapika just chilling up in a tree going, I need a haircut. Winner by points or KO. Begin! And as soon as the announcer says this, Killua is already in the air above Rylevelt, and Rylevelt doesn't even notice Killua's above him.
He's gone!
And then Killua is directly behind him.
He's behind me! Explosive thrust, or a boost!
And he speeds off in his wheelchair in order to avoid getting hit by Killua.
He boosted away from Killua. He uses a burst of aura to drive his wheelchair.
That was close. Jumped too high.
And it shows Rylevelt taking something from the back of his wheelchair.
Two-headed snake twin serpents. Two-headed snake twin serpents.
And they look to be whips with snake heads on the ends of them.
Serpent duet. Song of defense.
And he starts whipping these whips around him while he's on his wheelchair.
There's a song of defense. The fierce lashes of the whips protect him while he closes in to attack. What will Killua do?
A sneak attack. A snake attack? Well, too bad. You don't now that I have my whips going. Why? Are you blind? Nobody can keep up with those whips. You can't run or hide on this small platform.
And while he's saying this, Killua, without batting an eye, without even seeming bothered, without a moment's hesitation, grabs both of the whips.
Really? To me, they look like they were standing still.
What the heck?
Fine then. The true snake revealed. Thunder Serpent!
And Rylevelt flips a switch on the whips, which turn out to be taser whips, as they electrocute Killua.
You're the first guy who caught my whips, but there were others before who risked injury to try to stop me. And a combined 1,000,000 volts awaited them. Even a giant would pass out. All the idiots who resist my words fall prey to my thunder.
I am saying this so much, I'm kind of spitting a little bit. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Hold on. I get it. I'm getting so into this. I kind of let a little out a little bit. I'm so sorry.
All the idiots who resist my whips fall prey to my thunder.
And he's saying all of this as Killua still holds on to the whips and yanks Rylevelt directly out of his chair and sends him flying into the air.
Electricity won't work on me. I've been trained to withstand torture. And that only means I can tolerate it. But that only means I can tolerate it. It still hurts. And it sure doesn't make me happy. Uh-oh. Crashing down from that height won't be pretty. So what do you say?
Please, catch me!
Sure thing. I'm here for you.
And he's saying this. Killua is smiling, saying, like, sure, I'll catch you, while he's still holding the still turned on electrical whips. And he intends to catch Rylevelt while he's still holding the whips, while his body is still coursing with electricity. And then he lands in Killua's arms.
See how much it hurt, jerk?
Rylevelt is out cold. KO! Killua wins! And everyone's clapping and praising Killua. Then it cuts to Killua and Gon.
Nice work, Killua.
Thanks. You're up on the 10th. Only I could have pulled that off. Even you'll faint if you touch that whip. What will you do?
Don't worry, I have a plan.
You weren't watching for nothing. A battlefield is your classroom.
And then it cuts back to the next match as Killua is in the crowd as Guido forfeited his match. Rylevelt now has a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. Winner by points or KO. Oh wait, this is still the announcer lady.
Rylevelt now has a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. Winner by points or KO. He can't afford to lose anymore. He has his whips drawn already. Gon, meanwhile, is empty-handed.
Begin! And then Rylevelt starts using his Song of Defense immediately.
Song of Defense. Rylevelt isn't wasting any time. He's going all out, folks. Now Gon's squatting down.
And Rylevelt is still using his Song of Defense around him. And Gon puts his fingers underneath one of the floor tiles of the arena.
Mwah! Oh, wow! He ripped up the stone tile with his bare hands.
What?
And then Gon is looking directly at Rylevelt.
Hi-ya!
And then throws the whole floor tile at Rylevelt.
And he threw it! Whips won't stop this one!
And then all Rylevelt can do is look on in horror as a full-on stone slab is thrown at him.
Aura boost!
And then he speeds away. He speeds away just in the nick of time.
He barely escapes!
He left him a way out.
And it shows Gon is keeping up with him.
But look! Gon knew exactly where he was going.
And then we get Hisoka, who chimes in.
Rylevelt didn't have time to change directions in that split second, so he could only go forward. Since he lost his balance with the sudden acceleration, he was forced to stop his whips. That's the time to move in for the capture.
As it shows Gon right on the wheel of Rylevelt, of his wheelchair, and also holding on to his wrists so that he doesn't get electrocuted. And then Gon applying the same thing he did to Illumi back when Killua faced off against Illumi the first time. He starts crushing his wrists. Literally, with the force of his hands, he starts crushing Rylevelt's wrists. Ah! And then the whips drop. But then those same whips start to wrap themselves around his neck. And Killua, and then Gon just goes,
So this is the switch. Let's see, turn it up to max, and turn it on!
and then Rylevelt just passes out. He's all like, oh no! He just literally passes out. Do you realize how fearful you gotta be to get knocked out instantly from just your own fear? And then he just passes out. And then Gon sticks his tongue out and goes,
Just kidding.
Rylevelt is out cold. Gon wins. And then Gon walks away smiling. And while the crowd cheers him on. And then he walks down the exit way. And who's waiting for him in this hallway? But Hisoka.
Splendid. You make the grade. You can set the day and place. I'll take you on anytime.
And then Gon is just standing there as Hisoka walks away. And that's the end of chapter 59. Hisoka says like, oh, yep, you're good enough now. Let's fight. Let's fight. Okay, all right. That's the end of 59. Onwards to 60. Chapter 60, Passing the Exam. And we're back with Wing again.
We will begin our study of Hatsu today. With this, you will have mastered all the nen basics. The rest is about building upon those basics and finding your own nen. Shall we begin?
And of course, Gon, Killua, and Zushi are here. Chapter 60, Passing the Exam.
Hatsu is your personal expression of nen. It is greater than the sum of what you've already learned. Nen users fall into one of 6 broad categories: emitter, enhancer, transmuter, manipulator, conjurer, and specialist. Now, it's important to find an ability that suits you. Nen abilities are highly personal. You are shaped by nature and nurture. Gon, you were born with flexible muscles. You honed your senses by playing in the forest. Similarly, a person's aura has an innate affinity with one of the 6 categories. You will have a hard time if you pick the wrong ability for your aura. This is the compatibility diagram of the 6 categories. Emitter shoots out or projects aura. Manipulator controls objects or living beings. Specialist, unique, distinctive aura. In some cases, a person can become a specialist later in life. Conjurer materializes an object out of aura. Transmuter changes the quality of aura. And enhancer strengthens and reinforces natural abilities. If you were born with enhancer aura, you will learn it the fastest. Transmuter and emitter abilities, its neighbors on the diagram, will also come fairly easily. Hisoka changes his aura into a rubber-like substance. He's a transmuter. Gido heightens rotational forces, so he's an enhancer. But he also needed to manipulate all those tops. Since these 2 types aren't very compatible, it wasn't very effective. As for Castro, his Tiger Bite fist was powerful. He would have been one of its greatest masters. He must have been born as an enhancer. However, he chose to create a double, a complex and advanced ability. He needed to conjure and manipulate it. Neither is compatible with enhancement. He managed it through persistent effort and talent, but he expended most of his talent in learning this ability.
So, he made the wrong choice. But, is there a way to find out what ability you have?
Yes.
And Wing takes out like a simple drinking glass. And he puts some water in it and he places a leaf on top.
Water divination. This is a Shingen Ryu screening tool, also used in training Hatsu. Cup your hands around the glass and perform Ren. Your ability is revealed by what happens.
And when he does this, the drinking glass starts to glub and starts to drip, and then it starts to overflow with water, despite the volume that's already in the cup.
Water! It's pouring over!
It shows that I have an emitter's aura. It shows that I have an enhancer's aura. Enhancers change the volume of the water. You 3 give it a try. Winner goes first.
Winner goes first. Rock, paper, scissors!
And it shows Gon. It shows Gon using his Ren, and then it shows the water dripping over a little bit, though not to the extent of Wings.
Oh,
You're an enhancer too.
And then it shows Zushi doing the same thing, and the leaf is moving.
The leaf's moving.
It shows you're a manipulator.
Oh.
Okay, my turn.
And Killua does this, but nothing happens.
Nothing changed.
Perhaps.
Don't I have what it takes?
Sure you do. Taste the water.
It's a little sweet.
This isn't plain water.
Changing the taste of the water shows you're a transmuter. Now we know what kind of auras you have. For the next 4 weeks, give this your undivided attention. Practice until you can make a more pronounced change.
Us.
And over the course of these weeks, Gon is working on becoming a better enhancer. Sushi's working on becoming a better manipulator. And Killua is working on becoming a better transmuter. And time flies. And someone calls someone. Is that Hisoka? Yeah, that's Hisoka. As apparently Gon calls him.
Hello? This is Gon.
Hey, have you decided?
Yeah. I'll sign up for July the 10th. Let's fight in the Heavens Arena.
Okay. I'll be looking forward to it.
And he has that same almost Undertaker-like eye-light look in his eyes while he's thinking about fighting Gon. And then they go back to training with Killua still working on being a transmuter. Then we go back to Wing.
Okay. Show me how far you've come.
Time has passed. And Gon is concentrating. And then he uses his aura. And then the cup starts to overflow with water.
Oh, it's gushing out.
Good.
As the water gushes out and starts to dribble off of the table.
Killua, you're next.
Yep,
And he enhances the water. And Wing tastes it.
it's ready.
And then Gon tastes it as well.
It's so sweet, like honey.
I must say, I'm very impressed. You two will graduate today.
Huh?
And Gon, you've just passed the other hunter exam. Congratulations.
Huh?
And even Zushi's confused.
One must learn Nen to be a full-fledged hunter. Such skill and power are a requirement of the job. A hunter's duty is to capture poachers and pillagers. He needs to be a deterrent. But Nen can be destructive if abused. It's too dangerous to make it a part of the official exam. Thus, only people who have passed are tested.
You were planning to teach us all along?
Yes, once you showed the desire.
Once you show the desire. Once you show the desire.
Yes, once you showed the desire. The master of Shingen Ryu is Netero. He told me a lot about you.
And both Gon and Killua are thinking,
The chairman?
and Killua's all like, that guy.
That guy.
Killua, you should retake the exam. I know you'll pass this time. You're well qualified now. I guarantee it.
Well, if I ever feel like it.
Wing? Do you know how the others are doing?
Yes. Hanzo and Kurapika have learned Nen already, under other teachers. Illumi and Hisoka knew Nen to begin with. Leorio will start after he applies to med school. I hear Pakal is having a hard time with Nen. With Ren.
They're all working hard.
Yeah.
One more piece of advice. Don't overreach yourself in the match tomorrow.
I know.
Zushi, you'll practice for 4 more weeks.
Us.
Take confidence. You've learned faster than most people. It's just that those 2 boys have even rarer talent.
Us. Can't say I feel better. But I'll catch up to them someday.
As we just see Gon and Killua.
And now, the appointed day of the showdown.
And that's the end of chapter 60. And then we have the water divination aura screening. Fill a glass to the brim with water and float a leaf or anything light enough to float on the surface. The changes reveal what type of aura you have. The quantity of water changes, makes you an enhancer. The color of water changes, makes you an emitter. The leaf moves, you're a manipulator. Impurities appear in the water, you're a conjurer. The taste of the water changes, you're a transmuter. And other changes just make you a specialist. That's the end of chapter 60. Onwards to 61. We're almost done, everybody. We're making very, very, very good time. Also, if I have any new people here, hi, how are you? I hope you're enjoying the read through. And if you guys want to see what I'm reading, well, just simply look up Hunter x Hunter chapter 61. I can't show images because they're copyrighted, and I can get this whole channel, and literally my job can get in trouble if I were to show them haphazardly. I would literally put my entire channel at risk. So if you guys want to see what I'm seeing, then just look up Hunter x Hunter and read along with me, so you guys can enjoy what my eyes are feasting on. Chapter 61, Showdown. And now we have Hisoka cracking his knuckles, and we also have Gon. And the crowd is going, "Isn't it time yet? Get going!" Oh, here they are! As the door opens up, and then we have that special theme that plays when it's Gon versus Hisoka when they're preparing to fight. Doom, 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 doom. Like the big orchestra hit. I listen to that almost every day because it's such an amazing theme. But the crowd starts roaring out loud.
Gon versus Hisoka! The match you've all been waiting for, folks! Gon comes out first, and he's empty-handed today. 3 wins and 1 loss. He's currently on a roll!
And while Killua's watching, Wing is watching,
And the opposing gate opens!
and Hisoka walks out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hisoka!
And the crowd on his side go,
Cal! Blood!
Good luck!
Die!
His record is 9 wins, 3 losses. Win, and he's on his way to a Floor Master loss. And he
oh wait.
win, and he's on his way to a Floor Master. Lose, and he gets kicked out. As long as he shows up, he hasn't lost yet. Will his undefeated reputation live on?
And then Hisoka just starts stretching. And then Gon is looking at Hisoka and they're staring at each other. And their auras are monstrous as it encompasses them both. And Gon is looking at him, serious still. And Hisoka's thinking to himself going,
Don't look at me like that. You're making me all excited.
I don't like the fact that they're putting his whole body in shadow except the one spot on him that's shining. I will not describe the part of him that's shining, but he's getting all... I won't even... I gotta be careful how I say this. This man is starting to enjoy himself just a little bit too much.
You're getting me all excited.
And then we see Hisoka's aura around him.
Gon, don't overdo it. What an ominous aura.
And this is Wing thinking this. And then Killua's watching. And then both Gon and Hisoka are preparing to get into the fight. Winner by points or KO. No time limit. And then we have Gon and Hisoka on the opposite ends of the arena. Begin! And Gon immediately rushes Hisoka.
Ha!
And he tries to punch Hisoka, but he moves out of the way. And when that happens, Hisoka manages to land an elbow on Gon and making him fall to the ground. But then Gon gets back up again and starts trying to hit Hisoka, but Hisoka keeps dodging every single one of these hits. And Hisoka tries to get him with like a palm strike, but Gon dodges that. And while that's happening, while Gon dodges out of the way, Hisoka just lifts his leg and kicks Gon while he's still airborne and causes Gon to flip in the air, but he still manages to right himself and hop over to the side. And their fighting continues. Gon tries to go for Hisoka, Hisoka dodges. Hisoka tries to go for Gon, Gon dodges. And it keeps going back and forth until Hisoka manages to land a solid blow to Gon's side. Shocking everyone because they were dodging each other's blows, but Hisoka lands a real solid hit this time. And then Gon rushes Hisoka again and tries to punch him, but Hisoka keeps dodging. And then Hisoka uses his elbow again and hits Gon. And while that's going, Gon tries to go for a kick while he's being floored by this elbow. And it shows Hisoka bracing for it and his shoulder kind of shuddering just a little bit. Gon notices and then he hops away from Hisoka. Both of their auras seen outside of their bodies here. And then Gon goes, and mind you, there's no talking. All I can do is just describe what's happening. Gon goes rushing towards Hisoka, and he starts letting loose countless punches, but Hisoka keeps dodging and pushing them to the side and blocking them. And Gon looks like he gets hit by Hisoka again, but he also does the same exact block as Hisoka, and manages to land on the ground and launches at Hisoka again. And the exchange just continues over and over and over and over again. This might be the fastest I get through a chapter. And Gon is dodging all of these hits. And then when it looks like Gon dodges away from Hisoka, Hisoka's fist is directly in front of Gon, but then all of a sudden, he gets faked out. He gets faked out by Hisoka using his left, but then gets hit with a strong right before he can do anything, causing him to skid backwards. And then Hisoka doesn't say anything, he just motions, come. And then the announcer goes, a clean hit! 1 point to Hisoka! And then the whole crowd is all like, ooh, tsugoi!
What a fight! I can't get a word in edgewise!
Everyone is just watching this fight go down.
What's wrong? I haven't even moved from the spot where I started.
Really? Just you wait! I shouldn't try to connect each hit. It's more effective to mix some feints.
Hisoka's having fun. There's a world's difference in their combat experience, but Hisoka's weakness is his superiority. He won't back away. Therein lies Gon's chance.
I know just the trick!
And then Gon rushes Hisoka. He goes up to Hisoka, and then all of a sudden, Gon starts moving fast enough for him to have after images directly in front of Hisoka's face, and then he speed dashes to his side. Hisoka notices this, but Gon goes over and uses the same thing he did against Guido, not even the same thing he did against Guido, he uses the same thing he used against Rylvelt, and flips a portion of the arena tile up in front of him.
Ha! There it is! Gon Stone Flip!
And Gon flips the tile in front of Hisoka, but he's hiding behind it so that Hisoka can't see what's happening behind it. And then Gon kicks the tile and throws all of these pieces into the air.
He shattered the rock into pellets.
And then Hisoka starts blocking all of this and punching away all this rock. And as these pieces are falling down around him, Hisoka's perception of speed is making it seem as if all of this is falling slowly around him while he's looking for Gon.
Where did he go?
And while he's thinking this, Gon is hiding behind a piece of rubble. Hisoka doesn't notice him in time, and Gon comes in out of nowhere and lands a solid right hook to Hisoka's face. And that's the end of chapter 61. Onwards to chapter 62. This one of the best fights in the series thus far, okay? I cannot wait to read the rest. Chapter 62, Like You Mean It. And Gon continues after hitting, it continues where Gon left off, for the last chapter left off, where he punches Hisoka directly into the face, shocking everyone. A critical hit! 2 points to Gon! Chapter 62, Like You Mean It.
Wow! Did you see that, folks? Gon got a critical hit on Hisoka! The tables have turned, now Gon has a 2-1 lead! However, it doesn't look like Hisoka was hurt very much. This call could be open to question.
Judges have personal styles, personal scoring styles.
Is that so?
Some place importance on the amount of damage dealt. Others like to see strategy and technique. The use of the stone tile was recognized as good strategy here.
Oh, I see! Who are you again?
Hold on, is that again or anyway?
Who are you anyway?
Because some person is just up there sitting with the announcer, with the what is it? What do you call it? What is the name? What is the name of the person that talks about what's happening within like a boxing match or a wrestling match? They have a name. I can't remember. It's not MC. Commentator. But the commentator, there's another person along with this commentator lady up there. Yo, Blue Arc, yeah, Hisoka versus Gon. That's where we're at right now. Only one more chapter after this, and then we're done with Volume 7. And then the next one will be next week on Thursday, as it happens to be. I hope your day has been well.
Oh, I see. Who are you anyway?
And then Gon is just thinking,
Got him!
and Hisoka is standing there. Hisoka is standing there, looking at Gon, and he just starts walking towards Gon.
Hisoka has taken a step for the first time since the match began, and he's smiling. Is this where the real battle begins?
And then Gon starts walking towards Hisoka. Oh!
What?
And then Gon reaches into his pocket and takes out the same 44 badge that Hisoka gave to him in the earlier parts of the exam, at least 3 volumes ago? I want to say 3 volumes ago. And he just takes it. Whoa. Wow, what in the world? What happened to the image? Why did it turn gray all of a sudden? That's weird. I'm going to need to look back. I'm going to need to check on that and make sure and fix that later on. But Gon takes out that same 44 badge and proceeds to hand it right back to Hisoka. And Hisoka is just looking down at him like a disappointed parent. And then Hisoka finally takes the badge.
Huh? What was that about? I don't get it.
And then both Hisoka and Gon jump away from each other.
How much have you learned about Nen?
All the basics.
I see. You're an enhancer, aren't you?
Huh? How'd you know?
You're too cute. You shouldn't admit it.
Oh, leave me alone. How could you tell?
It's my personality analysis based on aura type. Though it's no science, it's not unlike profiles based on blood type. Enhancers are simple and determined.
And he points directly at Gon when he says this.
He's right.
And even Wing thinks to himself, he's right.
I'm a transmuter, by the way. Whimsical and a liar.
That's true.
That's true.
Opposites attract. I bet we'd get along. We could be great friends. But be careful, as transmuters are fickle. What used to be valuable can instantly turn to chaff.
And then Gon is immediately still in a fighting stance. And then we get Zushi.
I wish he'd tell us about manipulators.
So, don't you disappoint me, Gon.
As Hisoka gets into his own fighting stance. He gets into his own fighting stance and is preparing to fully fight Gon fully. And then he rushes Gon and lands and seems to land a hit on Gon. No, he lands a, not seems to, he hits Gon, like elbows him, sending Gon flying into the air. And while he's flying, Hisoka then dashes over to where he's about to land while Gon is still flying.
He's fast.
And lands a solid hit on Gon's back before he touches the ground. And while he's flying in another direction, Hisoka is right behind him, and Gon manages to get out of the way before Hisoka can kick the ground where he's at, and which he does, with such extreme force that by the force of his kick, he lifts the entire tile where Gon was going to be off of its foundation and kicks it into the crowd. So whoever was right there exactly, they're either going to need the hospital or coroner. And everyone is shocked by this. Gon, Killua, Wing.
Yeesh.
What the?
What a kick! He kicked a stone tile into the stands!
And everyone who was near it is just looking at it in shock, seeing that a simple kick literally launched that giant tile into the air as if it was nothing. And Hisoka jumps into the air and tries to stomp on Gon. But then Gon jumps out of the way. Hisoka notices, and in that same instance, he dashes directly next to Gon. Yeah, he dashes right next to Gon, and then almost seems like he bunts. Like, volleyball bunt. He bunts Gon into the air, and Gon hits the ground, but then gets back up again.
He's super fast! He really means it now!
A critical hit by Hisoka. The score is 3-2.
I can barely keep up with these attacks. The tables turn yet again! Gon hesitates and circles Hisoka.
And they're both circling each other.
What's wrong? Come at me.
No, I'm thinking.
What a response. Well, what are you waiting for? Come on! No! I'm thinking. I don't know what it is, but that's just so funny to me.
What's wrong? Come at me.
No, I'm thinking. He's so fast. I can follow with my eyes, but my legs won't keep up. I'm a sandbag for him.
Okay, then. I guess I'll force you to come over.
Gon, Dugyo!
And this is Killua, as Gon uses Gyo.
Uh-oh.
Can you tell?
Because it shows Hisoka's finger, but nothing there, until he uses Gyo and notices that there's a strand of Hisoka's nen extending to his cheek. It was already placed there.
Huh?
Can you tell? What's about to happen?
And then Hisoka, using one finger, yanks Gon towards him.
What's going on? Gon is being pulled towards Hisoka.
And while he's pulling him, Hisoka prepares a punch and lands another hit on Gon.
This is called bungee gum. I can stick it on and peel it off at will. You can't escape now.
And that is the end of chapter 62. We got a little bit something at the end called Hiso's aura-based personality analysis. Enhancer, simple and determined. Manipulator, logical, does things at his own pace. Transmuter, whimsical and a liar. Emitter, impatient and not detail-oriented. Specialist, independent and charismatic. And lastly, conjurer, high-strung. Traits arbitrarily decided by Hisoka. And that's the end of chapter 62. Onwards to the last chapter of volume 7, chapter 63, next! And it shows Gon on the ground after being pulled by Hisoka's bungee gum and punched right in the face. Chapter 63, next.
A satisfying straight right for Hisoka. Gon goes down.
And Gon can see this bungee gum still attached to his face.
The ability to turn ore into sticky rubber and attach it to a target. Hisoka's bungee gum. He can stick it on and peel it off at will.
Come on, Gon. Get up.
A critical hit and down. 3 points for Hisoka. The score is 6-2. And the crowd is just roaring right now.
The margin widens. Will Hisoka remain undefeated?
Get up! Come on! The judge is biased!
Can you do it?
Of course.
And then Gon gets up even though the bungee gum is still attached to him.
He's up but struggling.
I have a quiz for you. You can deal a free punch if you get it right. When did I stick the bungee gum on your cheek? 1, with the elbow strike. 2, with the clean hit. Or 3, with the critical hit. And Gon is thinking back to when Hisoka attached the bungee, when he could have attached the bungee gum to his body at all times.
When was it? Think. 3. You hit me with both hands.
No, the answer was 4, when I threw it on you as I analyzed your personality.
No fair. Yeah. If only I'd used Gyo.
One word of caution. You would have seen my aura coming if you had used Go in the case of number 4. But what about the other times? I can use this with any physical contact. I hid the bungee gum when my opponents are being remiss. But if I'm bunching them, it wouldn't matter if they can see my aura or not.
Oh yeah, there's no point in seeing his hidden aura if I can't even evade Hisoka's blows.
And then Killua.
This could be difficult. His ability is more dangerous than I thought. To avoid Hisoka's bungee gum, Gon can't let him touch him at all.
And then we cut to Wing.
He can't even block. It would get stuck on the limb he's blocked with. Enough talk. Now then, time to...
And then, while he's saying this, Gon is already rushing him.
If I can't escape, my only option is to go forward!
Ah, Gon. I love it. I love it. Yes, that's the spirit. You have so much initiative. Oh, those eyes. I wish I could demolish you right now.
And Hisoka, you have issues. This man has issues. This man has issues. So many issues. This man has so many issues.
I wish I could demolish you right now.
And Gon immediately gets intimidated by this.
Ah, but not yet. I have to wait until he's ripe and ready.
And then Hisoka suffers a punch to the face by Gon. And everyone's shocked to see Gon actually land another hit on Hisoka.
Look at him go! What a pounding he's delivering!
I have to be patient until my prize is at its peak. Until it's almost a shame to tear it down. Bungee gum.
And using bungee gum while his head is turned in an angle that no human head should be turned in, Gon immediately gets yanked by Hisoka, and Hisoka lands another hit on Gon's face with the same hand that's attached with the bungee gum.
It happened again! Gon got pulled into Hisoka's fist and punched himself!
And it shows It shows Hisoka not letting Gon touch the ground as he yanks Gon before he does, and then hits Gon again. And it's over and over and over again. No. He actually blocked that last hit.
Okay, I managed to block that one. I'm getting used to being yanked around. I'm not done yet. I'm scared, but if I let fear take over, I won't be able to fight anybody. Ever!
And then the announcer raises his hand. A critical hit to both. And Hisoka scores one down. 9-4.
What? But I got right back up! And I blocked it!
The judge is blind! What's he thinking?
More controversy! The crowd isn't pleased with the scoring! The judge seems biased against Gon! One more point. Any hit, and I'm finished!
Watch yourself, Gon. Look to the right.
And Gon looks to the right, and he immediately gets hit in the face with a piece of rubble. He looks to the side and gets hit in the face with a piece of rubble.
Oops. Sorry. That was my right.
And Gon hits the ground.
I threw my aura onto the rock while you complained to the judge. Then I activated the bungee gum.
A clean hit and down. 2 points to Hisoka. Hisoka wins with a TKO with a score of 11-4.
What? It's over?
Not bad, but you still lack experience. We might get a good contest if we fight, 10 more times. That's if they took place strictly in the Heavens Arena. So no more. This is our last fight here. There will be no rules or points next time. It'll be life or death.
And then Hisoka just walks away from Gon.
He's so far beyond me. But I can get there too, someday. I'll learn more about Nen and find an ability that will rival Hisoka's.
And then the commentator.
Hisoka has won 10 matches, so he's now eligible to challenge a floor master. I wish Gon the best of luck as well. He fought bravely. That's all from the 200 floor. See you next time!
And then we get to the judge who's being interviewed because people did not like how he was judging the score of Gon and Hisoka's fight. I feel the judging was fair, but I did deem it better to end the match quickly, even if I had to lower my scoring criteria. A technical judge. They score points fast to get risky matches over with. Really? Gotta remember that. I'd bet on 10-0 Hisoka. And it shows Gon and Killua walking away.
We've met all our goals.
Yeah.
We have no need for this place now. Let's go to your house next.
You sure?
Yeah, I want to meet your Aunt Mito.
I haven't been back in 7 months. Okay.
And then Gon is smiling. Killua is smiling. They're back to the attire they had on when they first arrived at the Heavens Arena, as they have now left the Heavens Arena, and Gon and Killua look up at it going,
Heavens Arena?
Goodbye!
And that is the end of the Heavens Arena. The end of Chapter 63 and the end of Volume 7. Woo! I can't wait to read next week's volume, Volume 8. I will say this, though. With the way that they set up these chapters, it doesn't feel like it's taken too long to get through any of them. And also, depending on if there's a whole bunch of fighting or not within a chapter, I can get through them a lot sooner. Overall, this was yet another good read of Hunter x Hunter. From Blue Arc to Mihai to even people who are just lurking in the background, just silently watching. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. We are this close to 5.9K, which will then turn into 6K, then 10K, then 100K later on. All I can say to you is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!